How the Vikings discovered America 500 years before Columbus. A longship cuts through fog. Icebergs loom. In the year 1000 AD, while Europe was still in the Dark Ages, a Viking named Leif Erikson stepped onto a new world. Not Asia, not Africa, not a myth. North America, 500 years before Columbus, with no compass, no maps, just courage, stars, and the wind. Welcome back to the Viking Historian. Today, we uncover the true story of how the Vikings found America and why the world forgot. This isn't legend. This is proof written in wood, soil, and saga. Chapter 1. The journey begins. Greenland to the unknown. It starts with Eric the Red, the outlaw who founded Greenland in 985 AD. His son, Leif Erikson, curious, bold, and fluent in many tongues. One day, a sailor named Bjarni Herjolfsson drifted off course and saw forests, hills, and rivers far to the west. But he didn't land. He returned and told the tale. Leif bought his ship, gathered a crew of 35 men, and sailed into the unknown. Chapter 2. Three lands: Helluland, Markland, Vinland. The saga of the Greenlanders and the saga of Eric the Red both tell the same story. Leif's crew found three lands across the sea. Helluland, land of flat stones, gives cold, rocky, barren, gives most scholars agree. Baffin Island, Canada. Markland, forest land, gives covered in timber, a treasure for wood-starved Greenlanders, gives likely Labrador. Vinland, land of wine or mead, gives lush, green, with wild grapes and salmon, gives Newfoundland, Canada, specifically LAnseAuxMeadows. This wasn't just exploration, it was colonization. Chapter 3. LAnseAuxMeadows, the smoking gun. For centuries, historians dismissed the sagas as myths. Then, in the 1960s, Norwegian explorer Helge Ingstad and his archaeologist wife Stein Ingstad found it. LAnseAuxMeadows, a remote peninsula in northern Newfoundland. They uncovered the remains of 8 Viking-style buildings, a forge with iron slag and nails, woodworking tools, a bronze cloak pin, identical to ones in Norse Greenland. Carbon dating. Exactly 1000 AD. This wasn't a camp. It was a base camp, a gateway to a new world, and it proved the Vikings were in North America for 192 years before Columbus. Chapter 4. They didn't stay, but they tried. The Vikings didn't just visit, they tried to settle. Leif built a longhouse. His brother Thorvald explored further. His sister-in-law Gudrid Thorbjarnardóttir gave birth to Snorri Thorfinnsson, the first European child born in the Americas. But then came conflict. The sagas call the indigenous people Skrælings, possibly Beothuk or Micmac. At first, trade, then tension, then battle. One attack was so fierce, the Vikings abandoned Vinland. Only Gudrid returned, not to stay, but to bury her husband. And just like that, the dream of a Norse America faded. Chapter 5. Why didn't they stay? So why didn't the Vikings conquer America? To few people, only a few hundred in Greenland, to far from home. No reinforcements, conflict with indigenous peoples, who were strong and numerous, no support from Europe. Unlike Columbus, they had no king funding them, and when the climate cooled, Little Ice Age, even Greenland became hard to sustain. By 1400, the Norse colonies vanished, and the world forgot. Chapter 6. Columbus never knew. When Columbus landed in 1492, he thought he'd reached Asia. He had no idea that Vikings had been in North America 500 years earlier. Even the Norse themselves stopped telling the story. But the sagas survived. The ruins remained. And in 1968, the world finally believed. In 1978, UNESCO declared LAnseAuxMeadows a World Heritage Site, the only authenticated Viking site in North America. Leif Erikson didn't raise a flag. He didn't claim land in the name of a king. He didn't write a letter back to Europe. But he walked on American soil. He built a home. He started a chapter of human history that was lost, then found again. And now we remember, because truth doesn't care who gets credit. It only cares that it's told. If you're shocked that Vikings beat Columbus by 500 years, smash that like button. It helps YouTube show this to more history lovers. Subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. Top 5 most brutal Viking battles in history. Ring the bell, because the past is full of surprises. Comment below. Should Leif Erikson be taught in schools instead of Columbus? And would you have stayed in Vinland or sailed home? Until next time, sail far, SKAL.